Hi everyone. So let's deep dive today about UiPath StudioX. Before we jump to understand what is StudioX, let us understand what is UiPath. So there are multiple automation tools available in market and they are provided by multiple vendors. UiPath is again an automation company which gives you variety of softwares to discover, build, manage, run your automations. So, what is automation? Automation is that each day, if you are performing a task that is repetitive and you need to perform it periodically, of course, following a certain sequence, on behalf of you, you can write an automation which will perform the task automatically as and when you want. So, you don't have to do it by yourself. Instead, the bot does it for you. UiPath provides not only Studio X, UiPath provides products in variety of phases. The first being discover phase, where you understand that which of your tasks can be actually automated. Once you determine that this is a perfect candidate for automation, we capture the details of the task. For example, how do you perform the task? Step 1, step 2, step 3. All the steps are captured in detail. The next is that you actually build the automation using the tools that are specified here. Then, once you have built your automation, you can test the automation. You can deploy them on the orchestrator, manage the same, and last is running your automation. So UiPath has two options. One is attended robot, and the second is unattended robot. Attended means that somebody has to manually trigger this particular automation, whereas unattended automation means the bot will run on its own as per the schedule determined by you. So let's jump to Studio X. If you use this particular download option, then only the basic version of Studio X is downloaded. When I say basic, I mean with respect to the licensing. You will be able to download a basic license which is valid for 1 year. If you want to download community version, I would recommend that go ahead, sign in yourself, and then download this particular automation. So I have already signed in, as you can see. Select on download UiPath Studio. Now, UiPath Studio and Studio X share the same MSI. That means it shares the same installable. You can change the profile between Studio and Studio X. I will shortly show you that in the application. While the application is getting downloaded, let us understand more about UiPath Studio X. So it's a no-code platform and also it is built for citizen developers. Now, you would say what's the difference between developers and citizen developers? Citizen developers are those that do not have much technical knowledge or they have not done any sort of coding before. This tool is purely drag and drop. So that's why no prior coding knowledge is required. As you can see that the software is downloaded, let's quickly go ahead with the installation. I would say quick, recommended for the community user. Let's quickly accept the terms, go ahead with the installation. At the bottom left of the screen, you can notice that we have utilized the community license. If you would have followed the link at the homepage of UiPath without signing in, you would have got a basic license which is valid for 1 year as compared to a community license which is valid for lifetime. The difference between community license and another paid license, which is the enterprise license, is that for community license, you do not get any support from the customer care directly. Instead, you utilize the community forum, that is UiPath Community Forum. And for the paid licenses, you have a customer support whenever you face an issue. There are other differences between these licenses and the data that's available to us. I would be covering them in my future videos. Here, either you can open a new task or a template, or you can utilize the existing templates that are there. Let's go ahead and build our first task. Okay, let's get ourselves familiarized with what the options are available in the tool. So first is the project. By default, a folder gets created. Let's quickly open the folder. So as you can see, these are the options under the folder. And one thing to notice is there is an Excel notebook that's been given automatically. So that notebook can be configured using this option. Either you can utilize the project notebook given by UiPath, else you can configure the notebook and direct it to some other Excel. Third is managing the package. So whenever you are utilizing these activities, if you need more activities other than the ones that are listed here, you can install the package as per your need. So for example, let's say that you want to use OCR. So here I can type OCR, and these are the packages that I can use for my action. The next is app and web recorder. So in automation, we have different types of automation. One is where you're just performing Excel or PowerPoint operations. And the other one is surface automation, where you are actually literally interacting with the website that you want to use. I will be covering surface automation in my future videos. Using this app and web recorder, what you can do is that instead of spying each and every element on a web page manually, you can utilize this option, and it will easily identify all the elements that you want to use for your automation. Table extraction can be done from a web page, Excel, and so on. This analyze option is for once you have built your entire workflow. If you want to perform validation or check it for errors, you can select Analyze. Exporting to Excel is an option of taking all the code to an Excel file. Publish is publishing our process that we have built onto Orchestrator. And last is Run, which actually and last is Run, which uh, and last is Run, which helps you run your process. On the left hand side, you can see activities. These activities are utilized. On the left hand side, you can see activities. Activities are the actions that you actually want to perform. For example, let's say I want to read from an Excel file and mail the contents to a recipient. So for me, I would be using an Excel file. That's the activity I have. Under Excel file, there are variety of other activities that are provided, which is reading certain rows, reading certain columns, or for each row that you are reading, perform an action. For sending an email, either you can use an Outlook 365 or you can use Gmail. Again, under using the Outlook, as I can quickly show, that you can forward an email, get an email by email ID. All the activities that we perform over an email are visible here. The second is once when you run the process, you can either see the output here. Output here would be only the message box that you use will be displayed here. Another option, error list. It is utilized to see all the errors that have happened uh, after running or while running the process. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any queries or recommendations, please post them into the comment section.